Hey, what's up, guys? Sarcastic Slow King here, and welcome to a brand new show called Total Pokemon Talks. Now, don't before you freak out. I'm not replacing TPI, so don't worry about that. This is just going to be, basically, this is going to be replacing, me putting up like a 4-second update video. So if I have updates, then I'll make an episode of Total Pokemon Talks, and then I'll talk about that stuff. Unless it's like unless it's like I physically can't, like I lose my voice or something. In which case, then you'll know about it just from an update video. But anyway, so I had a before episode 8 comes out, which by the way, episode 8 is in production. The PowerPoint is being made, and I'd like to finish it up either today or tomorrow, and then get it done, get like the recording and stuff like that done this weekend. So before episode 8 goes up, I had a few things that I wanted to talk about. Um, that was actually one of them, episode progress. Um, the one of the other ones is just like it's kind of like a request for all you guys. I have to request that like when you watch an episode, like when you watch episode 8 when it comes out, episode 9, 10, etc., etc. When you watch the episode, please, I implore you, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Don't obviously, like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff. But, leave a comment too. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Who'd you like? Who did you hate? Did you like the challenge? Did you hate the challenge? Because these are all things that as a content creator, these are all things that I feel like I need to take into consideration when I'm making the new episodes. Because I already have a whole plan of what's going to happen throughout the course of the show. Like I already know who the final two is going to be. I don't know who's going to win yet. I'm gonna figure that out as we go. But I know who I want the final two to be, final 5, final 10, etc., etc. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't take into consideration, if you guys start giving me suggestions, like saying like who you don't like. You never know. I might take that into consideration. I might, if enough people really like somebody, then like for instance, if enough people like Corsola, for example, I might just give Corsola a little push, like towards the front of the spotlight. If that was the case. So that's why I really request you guys leave a comment telling me what you thought, and if you have an idea like for an episode, like I have so many ideas in my head for episodes and challenges. Like there's only one single episode that is left in the entire series. There's going to be well over 20 episodes that I can think of right now, and only one of them I haven't thought of a challenge for yet. And so I really like, if you guys have an idea, have ideas for challenges, have ideas for things that might happen to people, definitely feel free to send me a message saying like, hey, what if this happened, and who knows, I might do it, or I might just as much as I respect your guys' opinion, I might just say, well, I was actually planning on having something else happen to them. No spoilers, of course, but just wanted to. I think I'm going to keep going in that direction because realistically, in a TPI, this is the first TPI that I've done where I've tried to do like long, like spanning storylines, because you really need those. I feel like if you're just watching like episode to episode, like things happen in the episode, but then like those things don't connect to any of the other episodes. It's just kind of like stagnant. You know what I mean? So I feel like having really long, not really long, but like long, like branching out storylines that involve a lot of characters. I feel like those are something that you need to have if you're gonna be in the TPI business. And so that, like, leaving a comment also leads me to my third, and which is actually my final topic, but I might be talking about this for a while, so we'll have to see. But episode 7, okay, the vast majority of the comments that I got on episode 7 were like, oh, that elimination sucked, and like that elimination was BS. And I mean, if you haven't seen the episode, go see it right now. But honestly, that's what I was going for. That's the type of reaction that I was going for. I wanted you guys to be like, oh, that elimination sucked, and it was BS. That wasn't fair. All that stuff. That's what I was going for. You know, for not only for like story purposes within the show, so that like some like the characters sort of have this realization, like, holy shit, like not everybody's safe really. And then, but also for, the audience to have that sort of reaction where they're saying like, wow, like things things can things can go down like that. So that was bad, like that. And so that was really my plan when I did that. And like when I was getting the comments saying like, oh, this is BS, this sucks, I was thinking, great, like that's awesome, because if you guys are taking the time to comment on it, and it's like that means that you guys are actually watching the episodes, and you're actually paying attention, and you're actually, like that you actually like care about the episode enough to comment on it. Like you could have easily just like, for the people that commented saying that it sucked, you could have easily just like watched it and then said to yourself, oh, that sucked, and then clicked onto a different video. But no, you had that thought, and then you were like, I need to say this, and so you said it. And that's awesome for me. That's awesome, because as a creator, not only is it awesome to get the intended reaction that you were going for, but it's also awesome that, you know people are taking the time um, to react to it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I sort of needed to do something like that, like some just ridiculous BS unfair elimination. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure how I was gonna. Okay, well, this is gonna be a spoiler for episode 7 if you haven't seen it, but it's been out for like a week and a half, so we're past like the buffer zone for getting mad at spoilers. So I'm about to spoil it. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to get Tyrogue out of there. I knew that I didn't want Tyrogue to like get super far, but at the same time, like I wasn't really sure, like, because based on the previous episodes, like he was doing well in the athletic challenges, and so I wasn't really sure like how I wanted to, get him out of there. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna have him get totally just screwed over in this episode, um, and like just for shock value. You know what I mean? Because it was one thing. I feel like a lot of TPIs, and mine was no exception to this in the first 6 episodes. But I feel like there's just like a factory line deadness to like TPI episodes, and that it gets kind of repetitive, like at a certain point, because let me just think of like what happens in a typical TPI episode. And like I said before, if you well, I don't know if people read channel descriptions anymore, but in the channel description for my channel, I said like I've been making TPIs for like 5 years, maybe actually might be 6 or 7 actually. Now that I think about it, it's like one every summer, and then this was the first one that I ever like really. Obviously, it's the first one that I ever uploaded, so it's the first one that I really thought was going to go anywhere, and this is like the best one that I've made. I've had more good ideas for this than I have had for entire seasons in the past, but like I feel like, especially like in those seasons that I made and in shows that I've seen from other people, I'm not gonna not gonna name names, but like I've seen shows where it's just like I said, this factory line deadness of like repetition, episode to episode. You know, like I'll give you an example. Like a lot of my seasons that I made in the past, it would end up being like the episode starts, uh, opening, like the intro, uh, two or three characters in the confessional. Okay, right to the challenge. Like maybe, just maybe, there might be some like interaction between two or more characters before the challenge. More often than not, there was none of that. So it typically went intro, two or three confessionals, right to the challenge. The challenge is, it's a challenge. Things might happen in the challenge. Just depends on the episode, I guess. Depends on how creative I was getting. And then after that, two or three more confessionals, elimination ceremony, clean elimination. They leave. Episode ends. Like that's it. That was like every single episode that I used to make when I made those other seasons, and it was just like it's not interesting. You know what I mean? Like this season more than ever, I've been trying to like, especially with like a lot of the new ideas that I've been having. It's sort of like I've been trying to like have characters interact more than just like during the challenge. You know what I mean? And like I feel like that's sort of just like factory line, just boom, boom, boom. This is how every episode goes. I feel like that sort of takes the fun out of it almost, because like you know what you're getting into, when you start to watch the episode. Like I'll give you an example of someone that never, or I wouldn't say never, but somebody that didn't do this, um, is the great Nikki Nortu, obviously the one that inspired me. Um, I would say like the back half of his TPI season was absolutely devoid of what I just said. There was, his episodes would typically go intro, one or two confessionals, a lot of character interaction. Usually those two things can be uh, flip flopped if you want. Then the challenge, a lot of character interaction development in the challenge, within the challenge itself, and then character development or interaction after the challenge, and then an elimination. And it's like that's how great characters get made, is that you can't have great characters unless you make them interact with each other. If your characters only speak to each other during the challenges, that's boring. You don't want that. That's like an okay thing in like episode 1, maybe episode 2, but then after that, you have to assume that your characters have known each other for at least 2 or 3 weeks. So they would have spoken before. And I feel like that's what I've been trying to avoid, is having that just factory line, style of episodes. And one of the things that I mentioned in that repetitive style was clean eliminations. Now, clean eliminations are awesome. Don't get me wrong. And when I say clean, I mean just a fair elimination. You know, so and so received the most votes, so they are eliminated. But I wanted to have at least one elimination that was not clean. I wanted to have one that was just like shock value and just like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this was like a good opportunity to do that, because I sort of had ideas for everybody else's eliminations except for Tyrogue. So I was just kind of like, oh, call it being unprepared. Like that's what I would say. But like I was like, oh, I got to get him out of here. And looks like this elimination is not going to be clean. Like it's interesting when when like characters will have unclean eliminations, because that also can open up new storylines and open up new motivations, because realistically when you're making characters, it's like you want to have realistic characters, you know, interacting with each other in realistic circumstances and ways for realistic reasons. Like you don't like I'm a I'm a big I'm a fan of what does he call himself now? First it was Andy X Challenge, now it's Emerald Star Productions, but his name's just Telly X, or I'm sorry, I butchered that. But so I'm a big fan of his, and like I watch all his reviews and stuff. And when I watch those, it's like I I, I get a lot of like it really helps because I get a lot of information about like what not to do for my series. Like obviously I don't have a Porygon in my series, but like if I had one, I would not want to make him a robot because that's one thing that is blatantly overdone and overused and all that jazz. And so that's like, and another thing is like instant romance is another thing that like reviewers like him will just rip you to pieces for it. So that's what I've been trying to avoid is instant romance. And like, don't worry though, there will be romance. There just hasn't been any yet. There will be though. But things like that, instant romance, like you don't want that stuff. Like that's exactly what I mean by like you want these characters interacting like for legitimate reasons. Like that's another thing. Like another example that is like character archetypes is that like you don't want to have, and like I can explain this, and this could take a whole. I could explain this and take up a whole other video to explain this in its entirety. But character archetypes are bad. You don't want those because the more character archetypes you have, the less interesting your show becomes, and it's like you end up saying to yourself like, oh, well, I've seen this character before, and I've seen that one before, and that one. Like you don't want to have a character just like uh, who's the same character as somebody from like the original Total Drama. Like you don't want to have a character like Owen Munchlax is very overdone. Um, you don't want to have a character who's exactly like Duncan. You know, you don't want to have a character who's exactly like were there other characters in Total Drama? You don't want to have a character who's exactly like Gwen or anything like that, because if you've seen Total Drama, you're like, oh, okay, he's a fat kid. Oh, he's a criminal. She's a goth girl. Real interesting. Um, and then at the same time, you don't want to. You also don't want to have um, characters that would be easily found in other TPIs, because that's arguably worse, in my opinion, because it's like aside from that TV series that obviously people worked on, but like somebody took the time to work on their TPI and make all their characters. So if you're using a character that's like almost the same as somebody else's character from their TPI, that's I don't know. It feels kind of unfair to me. I mean, especially if you're using them in the same way, like having the same like interactions and storylines with that type of character. I mean, I'm probably gonna, knowing my luck, I'm probably gonna get like comments saying like, oh well, this character that you have is really similar to this character from so and so's TPI. It'll be like a TPI I've never seen before, and I'll be like, oh shit, like I had never seen this before. I didn't even know that somebody did this. So that's my bad. And like that's another thing with like challenges too, is like it sucks when like you come up with like a really good idea for a challenge And I mean, this is something that I've heard from like other TBI makers. When you come up with like a really good idea for a challenge, you turn it into an episode, and it's a good episode, and you upload it, and then somebody says, "Well, so and so did this challenge," and then you've never seen that before, and so you're like, "Oh, geez, like I didn't even know that." Like I guess great minds think alike, but like it just kind of it's kind of cool, but it kind of sucks at the same time because like, oh, somebody had the same idea as me, but like you're like, oh, somebody had the same idea as me, like you kind of hope that they didn't do it better, but then like at the same time, like if that happens, if that happened to me, I that would make me want to go watch that episode and see what that person did with that challenge versus what I did with mine. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like challenges like I have had a lot of fun like creating ideas for challenges that I haven't even made yet. Like challenges like for episode like 20, and we're on what? We're not even at 8 yet. And so because I like to plan ahead, I like to I like to have a set order of things. And like I said, if if um if there's a lot of fans like behind one character, things might change. That person might get a push. Um, but at the same time, like I do like to go along with my plans. So I'd say it's like 50-50 if I would or not. But at the same time, it's like geez, we're gonna start calling this it's total Pokemon rambling. We've been going for 22 minutes. No, but I feel like when um when you have like a TPI season, I honestly do not even remember what the point I just made. So I'm kind of just jumping around now. But one of the things that I also wanted to talk about was plans for the future. I think that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, that I like to plan ahead. And so when I planned ahead, I also planned ahead just a little bit to the next season. And the question is it going to be Total Pokemon Action? Is it going to be Total Pokemon World Tour? Or can my brain produce something brand new that's never been seen before and use that for my second season? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But one thing that I will tell you is that if it's a Total Pokemon Action, for sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this for um, if it's like a world tour or like something completely different. But if it's 100%, I'm certain that it's gonna be Total Pokemon Action. I know for a fact that there's something that I'm not gonna do for that, and here's what it is. So when Nikki Nor 2 had like what was it, 28 or 30 um like contestants on his original TPI. Okay, I have 24, or is it 26? No, it's mid 20s. It's not really near 30 though. So that's I felt like that was a comfortable amount of characters for me, and so I feel like then when Nikki went on to TPA, you know, he almost doubled his cast. He added like 20, or it was either like 20 or around 25 new characters, which like don't quote me on this, and like God forbid I know that Nikki Nor 2 wouldn't be watching this video, but like I don't know for sure, but I feel like that might have contributed to him not finishing TPA. It could have been just like he didn't have time, personal life stuff, that happens to the best of us. Um, but I feel like one of the contributing factors to that could have been um, his gigantic cast of characters, because you already have the characters that you've developed from season one that everybody knows, and like everybody either loves or they hates them from the second TPA starts. You know what I'm saying? And so then if you double your cast, so if you had 30 in season one and then you have 60 in season two, that's, well, I mean, speaking in obvious terms here, that's 30 more characters that you have to create, and 30 more individual characters that you have to make. God forbid, like like it would be so hard to, like, for me at least, it would be super hard to have a cast of 60 characters and not have at least 25 of them just turn into wallpaper and fade into the background. And that was one of the other things. That was one of the other comments that I got, was that one guy said he was starting to send some background characters, and he actually said Meryl. And hold on, it's coming. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's coming. Just for you, man. No, just honestly, just because he said that, it sort of made me realize, like, hey, he's right, and so that made me change my plans a little bit. But I feel like if I had a cast of 60 characters, that I don't know if I would finish that season either. Aside from the fact that, like, that's like 60 individuals that I have to not only make characters, like make specific characters for, and like make like storylines for, but yeah, I have to make storylines for them, and like figure out how they interact with the other characters, and like it's a whole big net of like who likes who and who doesn't like who's in a rivalry with who, like who's feuding and stuff. And so it's like I don't think I would be able to do that. So if I do end up doing a TPA for my second season, here's what I will do. Okay, I'm going to, um, if it does turn out to be TPA, which is pretty likely, because I mean, this is just kind of a personal note, but like, I'm a film major in college. I love movies with every fiber of my being, and so I like having being able to create challenges like around movies is like the sickest idea ever to me. So that's why I loved Total Drama Action when it was coming out, and like that's why I loved Nikki Noor's TPA. Um, and so I feel like I would want to do one as my second season, and but what I would do is I would have Total Pokemon Island, however many. It's like T, and then like 65 P's, and then I, and then have, out of the 24 or more campers that I had in season one, I don't know how many, but like somewhere around half or under half would qualify for TPA, very similarly to how Total Drama did it and how Nicky Nor did it. But then that's where I would sort of hit a middle ground between the two, because Total Drama didn't add anybody in season two. Nicky Nor almost doubled his cast in season two. I think I would add, like, I would be planning to add between 1 and 5 new characters. One at the minimum, at least one, just one fresh new face, for everybody to get to know. 5 at the most. And I mean, hey, if I get the fan base up and running, like if we can get a fucking sarcastic Slow King army by the end of season one, and by the time season two starts, which I feel like I'll take like a month off in between, like the very end of season one, and then do TPPPPPPI, like a month off, and then get into TPA. And if we can get a big fan base going by that time, we can get the sarcastic army. Then I might take suggestions from you guys, and like of new Pokemon that you want to see in season two. and I think that would be super cool to like get you guys involved like that, and yeah, it would be awesome. So that's gonna be my plans for season two. But let's not even focus on season two because we're not even halfway done with season one yet. So my all I request from you guys, this is kind of my last point. Um, this kind of goes along with one of the first things that I said was comment on the videos, telling me what you like, telling me what you don't like, because whether or not it seems like whether or not it seems like it an episode or two later, I read all those and I like take all those into consideration. And so like when you guys want something or when you guys don't want something, like I know about that. And so don't think that you're just like don't think that like you send your comment and it just goes in one ear and out the other because it stays up there. I have an entire page of notes just about like little plot points for for this season, like oh so and so is gonna do this, and then he's gonna start like he's gonna become friends with so and then they're gonna feud with these people, and it's like all stuff like that, and like I put in those notes like okay that or at least once you guys really start sending the comments like left and right, then I'll be able to start putting in things like okay, nobody likes so and so, or everybody likes so and so, or like some people requested that so and so get more screen time. So those are things that I take into consideration when I make the episodes. But along with making, putting in the comments, um, I have last time I checked was like 3 hours ago, and I had like 28 subscribers. And like obviously I want more than that, not like a world domination type of thing, but like we need to get the sarcastic army going. Like I like I would love if it was even like 100 or like 150. Like that would still be awesome. That would still be an awesome amount of subscribers. And but like the key is like you guys. Like when when you guys watch the videos, if you like the episodes, if you like what I do, if you like the stuff that I'm putting out, which I hope you do, um, if you like all this and like you want, if you think that I deserve like more, like to be more well known, like obviously at this point it's kind of hard to tell, whether or not I deserve that, you know, but I would love to be at that point, eventually, where like by the end of season one, like I've got like it's like my dream is like for it to be the season finale of season one, and to have like half of my fans, like to have like just a shit ton of fans, and have like half of them in support of finalist number one, and like half of them in support of finalist two, because that might play a crucial role in the finale. We shall see. But it really like you guys can really help me out. Like, and I'm not saying you have to go like onto the street with like a sarcastic Slow King sign, or like you don't have to show up to WWE Monday Night Raw with a sarcastic Slow King sign, and while Vince McMahon's in the ring, you're holding it above his head, you know. Like you don't have to do that, but like if you like what I do, if you like the stuff I'm putting out, um, tell your friends. Tell your friends if you think they would like it. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dog. I don't know, your dog can probably understand human speech. So you just like tell anyone that you think would like it. And if you like TPIs and you have a friend that likes TPIs, or you have a cousin or anything like that who likes TPIs and they haven't seen mine, just tell them about me. You know what I'm saying? Like my goal is to like really just get out there and be in like the the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's like that should be the goal, like for anyone that's doing this, is like to be one of the better known people. Like to be the man, to be the big man on campus. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I can get there with your guys' help. So please, I implore you, please, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and tell people. Tell everybody, okay? And once you do that, the sarcastic army will grow and grow. Spread that on Twitter, hashtag sarcastic army. There it is. Boom. We have a hashtag now. And so I feel like you guys can help me out a lot with that. And I'd love you guys forever if you did that. So, geez, we've been going for 36 minutes. So we really are gonna have to start calling this Total Pokemon Rambling. Well, guys, so this was the first episode of Total Pokemon Talks, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all have a great day. Episode 8 is coming this weekend. Be there or be square, because stuff happens in episode 8. Stuff happens. But let me tell you something. It's funny because I was just signing off and now I'm on a whole new tangent. But pretty much every episode thus far has been leading up to one single episode. It's about halfway through the season, and that's when things really go down. Okay, and that's another example of how I really wanted to have like long branching storylines where like everything sort of comes back, like everything comes back around in the end. And so one of the episodes, and I'm not going to tell you which one, but one of the episodes within the next 10 episodes, so it's not episode 8, so between 9 and 18, one of those episodes is going to be absolutely lit. It's going to be crazy. So that's going to be probably one of the most fun episodes I've ever made. And but don't get me wrong, I'm not going to like it's not going to that's not going to be like the peak of how good episodes get, and then they're all going to be like doo-doo again. Like no, that's going to be like, that episode's going to be awesome, and I would hope that after that I would be able to keep making episodes that are just as, if not more, awesome. So be ready. It's going down soon. So here's my second attempt at signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe. Drive safe. Fasten your seatbelts. Click your ticket. All that good stuff. And this has been Sarcastic Slow King signing off. Cue the outro. Wait, there's no outro. It just sort of ends. Oh. Damn. Well, anyway, guys, adios, and I'll see you guys this weekend for episode 8. Cheers, everyone.